Hello guys, my name is Bahroz and welcome to my channel where I talk about career and financial success. Now in this particular video, I will share with you some myths around job hunting and I will bust those myths. Now make sure that you stay tuned till the end of this video because some of my favorite myths will come towards the end. That is how I've lined them up. Apart from that, in case you find any value from this video, I have two requests from you, which is one, press the like button as this keeps me motivated. And second, press the subscribe button along with the bell icon so you get notified as soon as I put a new content on this channel. Now on this channel, I post content pertaining to financial and career success. Make sure you like and subscribe both as this will go a long way for me to continue producing content like this, stay motivated and put more effort and more investment in producing similar content. Now let's move into the myths around job hunting. Number one is having a detailed, a 2-page or multi-page resume. In my opinion, resume should be 1 page. Now, there are people who would argue, no, if you have more experience, you should have 2 page. If you have less experience, you should have 1 page. No, my friend, you should have a 1-page resume. People don't have time to read everything. People don't have time to read 2 pages, not even 1 page. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that all that you need to tell about yourself, like key things, you want to tell everything about yourself, but the interviewer doesn't want to know everything about you. They just want to know those 5 important things. And if you list down 10 important things on your resume and take 2 pages, then they'll have to sift through your resume to find those 5 things. And people don't have more than 5 seconds to look at a resume. If they can't find what they're looking for, they will move on. So make your resume so simple, so succinct, so concise that when they look at it, they exactly find the information they're looking for instead of turning the page. And in 5 seconds, they can decide this is the resume I want to pick. Now I've made a separate video on how you should go about making a resume, crafting a winning resume. You can check out that video. I will leave the link here. Now the next myth I have in front of me is networking hype. People think that networking is only when you attend the networking events. Yes, you can do networkings when you attend the events. However, given the social media world exploding, especially making use of LinkedIn is far important, which is you can easily network with people on LinkedIn as against traveling here and there into networking events. Of course, it is good to meet people. It is good to shake their hands and look in the eye, tell them who you are and show a face. However, it is still important to connect with people on LinkedIn, let's say, or on social media, tell them who you are. And one thing which is very important is creating a LinkedIn profile, and not just creating a profile for people to search you, but also to produce content. So you can be searchable, one, and second, you show the world out there what value you can add by sharing content, by producing content, by being active on LinkedIn. And that is how you can attract more people, and that is how you can network with different people as well. Plus, when you reach out to someone on LinkedIn, they can always see your profile and see what kind of value you have been adding. So just apart from your profile in terms of experiences, there are other things that they can also check out, like references, testimonials, the kind of content you produce, what are you known for, and so on and so forth. So make sure you make use of social media for networking as well. Number 3 that I have is that degree or any hard skill that you have or any qualification that you have equals job. You can have all the qualifications in the world and put them on your resume, but people want to hire people who are good at doing business, who are good at collaborating with their organization, with the team members in their organization. You may be the perfect guy who knows every skill, every hard skill in the world, but you also need to have those soft skills. When people are hiring individuals in a company, they want someone who can come in the company as a brick to the wall and become part of that wall and support the wall, as against someone who's really smart but cannot fit in just because they lack those skills which are required and those soft skills with regards to collaboration, leadership, communication. You need to have all of them. Rather, if anything, those are far more important than having hard skills. It is important to have hard skills, but if you have superior soft skills but inferior hard skills, you still have a good or a great chance to get hired. However, if you have superior hard skills but inferior soft skills, then my friend, you have no chance to get hired. Now, next myth is that applying online is enough. No, it is not enough. When you go on the company's website, you apply online. That will not guarantee that you will be called for an interview. When you go on LinkedIn, you apply online. My friend, that will not guarantee that you will be called for an interview. Why? The reason is because there are hundreds of applicants who are applying for that job. And when the recruiter is going through the resumes, they are just checking the resume in 5 seconds and throwing them left, right, left, right. Left being no, right being yes, and only or hardly 8 or 10 resumes would land on the other side where it is all about, yes, they will call you for the interview. So what you essentially need to do is, once you've applied online, it is good, then you find someone in the organization who you can relate to. Connect with them, contact them, ideally through LinkedIn, and tell them who you are and why are you contacting them and the help that you need from them. So who you are is who you are, your experience in 1 or 2 lines. The reason you're contacting them is because there is a job opening in their organization, and the help needed is if they can pass on your resume to the right desk or to the right person. The piece is that there are hundreds of applicants who are applying, and the recruiter is sifting through the resumes and is not really putting any effort in your resume. However, if you contact someone in the organization and they respond, then the recruiter has kind of a responsibility to make sure that your resume gets the full chance, a full review. And after that, if it gets rejected, fine. But chances are, if there is someone who's recommending you or who's suggesting that this is an individual who I see as a good candidate for this role, can you please review his or her resume in full? That is good enough chance for you to get called for an interview. Now make sure that you find some relation to the guy or the girl you are contacting in the organization. It could be the college you're from, it could be the same country you're from, or it could be the same city, or previously you guys have worked in the same organization even if you don't know each other. Some kind of relativity increases your chances of getting a response from that particular individual. In case there is no such relativity, it is still fine. Reach out to people, send a cold email. Even if there is 50% rejection chance, it is fine. There will be certain people who will be responding to you, and as they respond, they will help you out. So in that case, make sure you just don't contact one individual. Contact like 2-3 individuals in the organization who are kind of from the same city, in the same city where you're applying, or from the same department as you. So let's say I'm in finance, I'm applying for a finance position. I find someone who is in finance in that particular city where I'm applying in that organization, and I reach out to them saying, "Hi, I'm Bahroz. I have certain amount of experience and I feel that this job opening which is in your organization fits my profile, and I would love for you to pass on my resume to the right desk for it to get a fair chance of review." That is enough. Contact 2-3 such individuals and see the magic. The next myth I have is that job search can be done quickly. Like you can just go online, apply, and in a month or 2, as you're searching, you will find a job. No, it doesn't happen that way. Job search is a job in itself. Like crafting your resume, adjusting your resume for different jobs, making sure that you focus on the right jobs, contacting or building your network, and then contacting individuals in that organization. So the key here is to make sure you're focused. If you're applying like into 20 different companies, it will be a lot of work. You will be reaching out to individuals in those 20 companies. You will be tailoring your resumes accordingly. You will be applying. Also, you will be searching for those companies. However, it is best to be very focused. Decide which city you want to find that job, decide which industry it is, decide what are those 3-4 companies where you're interested to work, and then just razor sharp focus on those companies. Look for jobs in those companies, then contact the individuals in those companies, seek help to pass on your resume, network, and so on and so forth. So make sure you are very focused. Otherwise, if you are more broad, it will take you a lot of time and consume a lot of effort. As I said, looking for a job is a job in itself. Another myth is around keeping your resume very standard. No, make sure you adjust your resume every time you are going for a job. Look what are the key requirements in the job and then adjust your resume accordingly. It can also be important with regards to coming out as being overqualified. So make sure you align your resume with the titles as well, with the role, responsibility, and the demands of the role. So adjust your resume accordingly so you don't come across as someone who's overqualified, underqualified, rather a right candidate for that particular job. Next myth I have is being perfect for the interview. You will never be perfect. You will always make some mistake. You'll always be learning. The best tip here is to keep practicing. And the way to practice is attempt more and more interviews. So even if there is a job interview, which you are not very sure whether you want that job or not, however, they've called you for the interview, just go for the interview. If anything, either you get hired and you really like the offer, or even if you don't get hired, you run a practice. You have to run a few practice rounds. You will fail a few interviews before you pass or land the job you really want or really need. So don't say no, say yes to every opportunity. Just go to that opportunity and do a dry run. Get better only by practicing. Last but not the least is about job hopping. People think that job hopping is bad. If they put different jobs on their resume, it won't look good. No, my friend, as long as you're learning something different every year, every time with every job, it is good. You rather, or the interviewer rather, or the recruiter rather hire someone who has had different experiences in past 10 years, but every year has had a different experience, versus someone who's done the same job in the same company for past 10 years. Their experience is much shallow. However, someone who has been changing jobs, changing roles, or changing organizations, as long as they have been developing and have been getting different experiences and enriching experiences, they are developing themselves and they are getting better. They are a much better hire versus someone who's been on the same role, same experience forever. So changing jobs is good. Just make sure you put it in the right way in your resume, and also explain it in the interview as you're explaining. Thank you guys for watching this video. In case you found value in this video, I'm sure you'll find value in another video where I talk about how you can go about introducing yourself. You can check out that video here. Other than that, there's another video where I talk about when you're in an interview and they ask you, tell me if you have any questions for me. Here is a video where I explain what kind of questions you should be asking. Thank you.